Do you all remember Blue Beetle? This lesser-known sidekick is an amazing addition to the already hustling and bustling DC roster, and now the Blue Wonder is making his way over to the big screen in a live-action movie. We are so stoked. Given his amazing skill set and how combat-savvy his suit is, we're going to have a blast watching him deliver those Beetle moves in all its glory. Let's get into the deets. Starting off, the Blue Beetle is going to be DC's answer to the MCU. The DC Extended Universe is DC and Warner Brothers' response to Marvel Studios' Marvel Cinematic Universe. It has been around since 2013 and has access to all DC characters. This intertwined cinematic operations sailing has not always been smooth. From film to film, its offers have been extremely variable. The Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman got virtually unanimous critical praise. Despite grossing $1.1 billion at the box office, Aquaman garnered lukewarm reviews from reviewers. Meanwhile, both Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice and Justice League were critical failures. Part of the DCEU's difficulty so far has been an over-reliance on recognizable characters and well-trodden material. For the past 2 decades, for example, Batman has been a character that has oversaturated the silver screen. Superman has been on the big screen since the 1970s. While Wonder Woman is fresh to the big screen, she has been a cultural figure since World War II. The DCEU appears to be planning big things for 2022, with Black Adam and The Flash in particular. The faltering movie world, on the other hand, has the potential to dramatically improve itself with 2023's Blue Beetle. It's mostly unknown to audiences, giving the DCEU a fresh start. Blue Beetle has the potential to sidestep prior DCEU errors and achieve success while remaining faithful to what has made some DCEU films exceptional. Next, a proper origin story. Because most people don't know who Blue Beetle is, DC and Warner Brothers have a unique chance to present a genuine and deep origin tale. There's already a well-executed DCEU origin narrative template in Wonder Woman. DC and Warner Brothers should successfully have spectators follow Jamie Reyes on his road to becoming the Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle will be similar to Spider-Man in that Jamie Reyes is a young adolescent who encounters futuristic technology that grants him meta-human abilities. The genesis tale of a superhero who is also embroiled in the difficulties and tribulations of adolescence may be a fascinating and possibly sympathetic one. Moving on, not dark like other DCEU movies. The DCEU began on a very dismal note and has just lately begun to sail the ship in a new direction. The tale of Superman in Man of Steel was extremely gloomy. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice descended almost to Watchmen levels of darkness in superhero storylines. Blue Beetle should do all in its power to avoid this outdated cliche and trap. Jamie Reyes is, after all, an adolescent. A lighter approach with a younger figure who is somewhat unknown to the broader public would be appropriate here. We think this is a much-needed refresh. Come on, DC, enough with the gloom. Further, DC is increasing diversity and representation. So far, the DCEU has been abysmal in terms of diversity and representation. Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in Justice League, was accused of racism in the production, which has lingered over the franchise like a black cloud. Furthermore, when it comes to diversity and inclusion, DCEU films have a poor record of accomplishment. For example, the Black Amazons in the original Wonder Woman film had very few lines of dialogue. With Blue Beetle, the DCEU has a chance to right the ship. Jamie Reyes is a Mexican-American adolescent from El Paso. This is the ideal place for him to learn about his ancestors as well as his path to becoming the Blue Beetle. Latinx representation in superhero films has been notably lacking. Therefore, Blue Beetle has the opportunity to effectively carry the torch on this subject. In addition, Blue Beetle's city will be full of character. The locations where the superheroes live are nearly personalities in their own right in DC Comics mythos. Wonder Woman's Themyscira, Superman's Metropolis, and Batman's Gotham City all feel like alive, breathing beings. This has not been the case with the DCEU. Metropolis just seemed like a location Superman visited before destroying it in Man of Steel. In Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, the same is true for Gotham City. Blue Beetle, on the other hand, has the potential to transform El Paso into a prosperous metropolis. Given Jamie Reyes' cultural background and El Paso's location along the Texas-Mexico border, there is a lot that can be done to make El Paso seem distinct in the DCEU. Importantly, DC needs to give their their characters more motive true to their nature. Superman kills General Zod in Man of Steel. Batman murders non-stop in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, notably with the Batmobile. Diana is reduced to a naive idiot in Wonder Woman 1984 when confronted with devastating implications, and she simply gets fortunate. Blue Beetle should respect its heroes and supervillains by providing them with motivations and acts that are consistent with their personalities. Comic book fans and moviegoers alike are astute enough to recognize when filmmakers take too many artistic liberties. Following the cancellation of Batgirl, the fate of several DC films and programs has been left uncertain. According to The Hollywood Reporter, some projects are apparently secure. Among these projects are the live-action Blue Beetle film and other James Gunn films, including Peacemaker starring John Cena. Now, Blue Beetle film is rumored to introduce a new villain with a surprising name. According to a fresh rumor, the next Blue Beetle film in the DC Extended Universe would include a villain with a familial link to Ted Kord. Blue Beetle, a DC and Warner Brothers Pictures production, starring Jamie Reyes as the third and most recent Blue Beetle. Having said that, official concept art for the film indicates that Kord Industries will play a significant part. Of course, Kord Industries is the corporation headed by Ted Kord, the second and most well-known Blue Beetle, who took over for Dan Garrett. Up next, two antagonists coming in hot. Blue Beetle will have at least two villains, according to the Cosmic Circus: the DC comic book character Conrad Carapax the Indestructible Man, and a brand new character named Victoria Kord. If this is correct, it remains unclear how Victoria is linked to Ted. Nonetheless, the thought of a Kord playing a villain is certain to surprise DC fans. According to Cosmic Circus sources, Victoria is being set up to make difficulty for Jamie, played by Zolo Maraduena. Furthermore, Victoria appears to have links to both Jamie's love interest Penny and the aforementioned Conrad Carapax. Carapax, created by Len Wein and Paris Cullins, originally debuted in Blue Beetle #1 in 1986. Moving on, dishing out some tasty rumors. The Illuminerdi earlier said that it heard rumors that Lady Styx was the villain of Blue Beetle, but the Cosmic Circus has yet to confirm this. A portion of the Illuminerdi's article was based on a casting call for a woman between the ages of 50 and 60. According to the Cosmic Circus, the casting call might be for Victoria Kord, Lady Styx, perhaps a mix somehow, or some other figure entirely. The Blue Beetle film also includes Belissa Escobedo as Milagros Reyes, George Lopez as Uncle Rudy, Adriana Becerra as Nana, Elpidia Carrillo as Rocio, Damian Alcazar as Alberto, and Harvey Guillen in an unspecified role, besides Maraduena as Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle and Marquezine as Penny. According to comicbookmovie.com, Warner Brothers Discovery included the first official synopsis for Blue Beetle in its 2023 sneak peek. Because little is known about Blue Beetle, DC fans will be keen to learn more about the film's plot. The synopsis informs viewers that Jamie's life changed dramatically since the character will be presented in the film as a recent college graduate rather than a high school student. This should be great since it frames Jamie's tale to have a more adult tone and avoids having to witness yet another superhero movie centered in a high school environment. Additionally, everything we know about Beetle's movie yet. Blue Beetle stars Zolo Maraduena as Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle, with Bruna Marquezine, Belissa Escobedo, George Lopez, Adriana Barraza, Elpidia Carrillo, Damian Alcazar, Raul Trujillo, Harvey Guillen, and Susan Sarandon in supporting roles. The film's antagonist is said to be Victoria Kord, played by Sarandon. Victoria is a new character developed for the film, but the villain's significance stems from her apparent connection to superhero Ted Kord, who was the Blue Beetle prior to Jamie's time in the comics, and was rumored to join the Arrowverse a few years ago. What a surprise! Guess Jamie favors DC over Marvel. There's been no indication of Kord appearing in the film, but even if he does not feature in Jamie's debut, the character should be included in the franchise. Blue Beetle's promotional materials have heavily leaned on the famous Scarab from the comics. The Scarab is the source of Jamie's abilities, and was initially identified with Dan Garrett, the first Blue Beetle. In the comics, Ted Kord discovers the Scarab after assuming it had been destroyed for most of his superhero career. He misplaced the relic in the wizard Shazam's lair. Following a struggle between Shazam and the Spectre, the Scarab is taken to El Paso. It's unclear whether any of this past will be included in Blue Beetle, but the young man's adventure should begin with him discovering and connecting with the Scarab as he returns home. Lastly, Spanish culture will be honored. One intriguing feature of Blue Beetle has been revealed: its aim to honor Latinx culture. Blue Beetle will be DC's first live-action Latinx superhero film, and if handled well, it has the potential to become a cultural sensation akin to Marvel Studios' Black Panther. The character of Jamie Reyes is already one of the fan-favorite characters from DC Comics, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get viewers to cinemas, especially considering DC's flawless recreation of the Blue Beetle outfit. Sarandon, who plays Victoria Cord in the film, stunned fans by revealing that numerous sequences will be spoken in Spanish, a first in the DC genre. When Blue Beetle is released in 2023, the film's strong and varied ensemble, together with Jamie Reyes' captivating personality and the mystery surrounding the scarab, should make for an entertaining on-screen adventure. That's a wrap for this video. Did you like the Blue Beetle's design? And what do you think about Latinx culture being transfused into a DC movie? Let us know in the comments below. It'd be awesome if you gave this video a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe for more scrumptious videos like this. See you in the next one.